Meditation day 3, and this one is on awareness. This episode, we're going over awareness. Now, we're going to do it differently than most people do awareness meditations. If you have not had a chance to see Instructor Ming's video, it was excellent. He actually made several videos and a lot of really good points about meditation. One of the things I love about this series is that you can go back to any one of the days and redo the meditation. As he made an excellent point about Mushin, it is not something that you can typically just do in one video and then you can clear your mind. The nice thing about all of these is that you can go off on any one of these subjects over the 30-day period for its own series and make many videos about them. How we're going to do our awareness video is different than most people do awareness meditations. Most of the time they do it with body scans. And so whether you are into Deepak Chopra, Jason Stevenson, or any of the people who are doing guided meditations in that way, you're probably aware that that's how they do it. They scan and have you just close your eyes, and from the toes all the way up to the top of your head, they have you focus on those things and try to feel them, making sure that you're able to focus on one part of the body helps build your ability and focus. However, it's not at all how I want to do our awareness meditation, because while it has a great application, the awareness that we're going to do has a much greater application in situational awareness and self-defense. And that is simply an environmental awareness. You ever walk into a room and the energy is palpable? You could have multiple people in there and they don't even have to be speaking, but you can feel the overall mood of what is occurring. You can look at any one of those individuals and know by their body language, mannerisms, postures, especially eye contact, largely how they're feeling and the energy they're exuding. However, the collective energy is also very much so something that you can feel if you can get in tune with it. Now, it's important to note many people will see a lot of these things in this whole spectrum as what is often referred to as woo-woo. If you're unfamiliar with that term, you can think of it like Cocoa for Cocoa Puffs. I don't want to go off into any one section and say that about anything, because I would much rather not bias anybody against any one section. I want you to be able to go look at those things for yourself. Many people believe in things like chakras. Many people think that that is woo-woo. I'm not going to say either way. And your personal beliefs are just that. They're personal. So however you feel about those things, the only thing that I would encourage is that whether you do believe it is woo-woo or very much so real, examine it. Examine why you think that, and to truly say that we have an open mind is to be able to have the ability to stay open to the fact that you could be wrong. And if you can do that, no matter which way you believe, you will be far more advanced than most people. Not that we would want to compare ourselves to others, but it is very much so true. A lot of people will talk about having an open mind, and then they are very much so closed down to certain sections of this. Personally, I believe that there are indeed things out there that are woo-woo. I also believe that there are things out there that are considered to be that and not. But those are personal beliefs, and just as I hold my own, I encourage you to look at and examine your own. The thing with the awareness video and the energy of a room is very real. And you can go ask anybody who is law enforcement, military, private security. They are really good about developing a sixth sense for that. They can walk into places and kind of feel what's going on. In our women's self-defense Wednesdays videos, we talked about that spidey sense. It's just your intuition. The reason why I say it's not woo-woo is that you can go look up for yourself. There is typically considered to be 3 brains: your conscious, your subconscious, and your gut. And that gut feeling isn't just a saying. There is actual evidence, scientifically based evidence, that your communication there between your brain and your gut is much more than ghrelin spikes and hormones. There are a lot of different research papers on this, that the gut feeling is an absolute type of awareness, but considered to be another type of a brain. Not that it's cognizantly thinking, but that it has the ability to inform you. And if you don't ignore it, it can be very, very beneficial. Whether you call it a gut feeling or just your intuition, it's something we should always follow, right? We can develop it, however. It's not something that is stagnant. Many, many decades ago, it used to be believed that IQ, for example, was specifically stagnant, that it wasn't changeable. But as research and science developed, they found that gray matter absolutely is changeable, and those numbers can indeed go up with neuroplasticity. So while there are many sections that are woo, there's also many sections that can be backed. I just don't want to bias you in any one way or another. I want you to go do your own research for these things. When you have a situational awareness, we are talking about that with individuals and their actions. Spatial awareness is for this particular video, and I wanted to do it that way because body scans are great. If you can focus on any one part of your body, it helps leads you into a section where you can slow your heart rate and even your blood circulation and blood pressure. If you're familiar with Deepak Chopra, he does a lot of those. I will end it with this. When you are in a position when you are much more in tune with yourself, it becomes much easier to be in tune with your environment. When you can take yourself out of the bubble that we all walk around in every day and set it aside, it's often referred to as taking off rose-colored glasses. You have the ability to see more simply by paying attention. You'd be amazed at what you can see when you start to open your eyes, but you'll also be amazed at what you can start to see when you open your intuition to everything going around